Tonight, a month and a half after 12-year-old Tamir Rice was shot and killed by a rookie Cleveland police officer, we have extended video of the aftermath of the deadly shooting. That video appears to confirm the family's version of events, which is that Tamir Rice's sister was tackled by officers. Police have not confirmed that version of events. Cleveland Police Department originally refused to release the extended tape. Only after the Northeast Ohio Media Group hired an attorney to get footage, which they note was shot on publicly owned and operated cameras, did the department eventually relent. And we now have that extended tape, and it is disturbing.
In the video that has previously been released, you see a police vehicle pull up to a 12-year-old Tamir Rice and shoot him twice within seconds of arriving on the scene. The new extended video shows Rice's 14-year-old sister, who was at the park with her brother, running towards the scene after her brother was shot. She is met by an officer who quickly tackles her to the ground. Another officer runs over momentarily to help and then moves away, and a third officer joins in helping to subdue Rice's sister. You can see the two officers struggling to subdue the 14-year-old girl, who, according to reports, ran over when she heard two gunshots fired. For several seconds, the two officers appear to be struggling to handcuff Rice's older sister, as her brother lies wounded and alive on the ground several feet away. Finally, you see the officers pull the girl up and attempt to walk her to the car as she appears to squirm. She wrestles back onto the snow-covered ground while the two officers struggle with her some more. Meanwhile, a third officer stands by and watches. Eventually, after several seconds of an apparent struggle, a single officer marches Rice's sister, who is now in handcuffs, into the police vehicle where he joins a second officer. They put her into the back seat of the car and shut the door. Later in the video, a full 4 minutes after Tamir Rice was shot, a man who we now know as an FBI agent who happened to be in the area arrived on the scene and gave the boy the first medical care he had received after being shot. About 8 minutes after the 12-year-old boy was shot twice, a sizable group of medical personnel arrive on the scene. They walk over to where Rice is, behind the police car, and they appear to be helping him. And around 13 minutes after he is shot, he is taken away in a stretcher and taken to the hospital.
And during that entire video, Tamir Rice is alive, wounded on the ground behind that car. He would only die at the hospital later that night. Joining me now, Benjamin Crump, attorney for the family of Tamir Rice. Mr. Crump, that footage is pretty hard to watch. It's pretty appalling, frankly.
Chris, it's outrageous and it's inhumane, to say the least.
The account that we got from Tamir Rice's mother was essentially this, that essentially the police seemed more focused in the aftermath of shooting her son with subduing her daughter and then with restraining her when she showed up on the scene than actually attending to this boy who had been shot and was laying on the ground bleeding.
And that's correct, Chris. This video confirms 100% the family's previous accounts of what happened. In fact, it shows that it was inappropriate how they shot her 12-year-old son, and it was even more outrageous how they manhandled and tackled her 14-year-old daughter as she attempted to go to her little brother who had just been shot. And it was at that point, it's clear at that point, they know that this is a young child because she's saying, you all shot my little brother, you killed my little brother. Instead of trying to comfort her and console her, they tackle her and they put handcuffs on her and put in the back seat of the car just feet away from her little brother, who she watches lying on the ground dying.
And just to be crystal clear here, in the beginning of that video, when we see her run and she is tackled, she is not running in her account, or in the family's account, she's not running towards the police. She's running towards her brother when the police stop her from getting to him.
That's absolutely correct. And in fact, there is a cell phone video of her when she first comes out the community center with the other children after they hear the gunshots. And it's riveting, Chris, because the cell phone video captures her saying, they killed my little brother, they killed my little brother, and the other kids are trying to calm her down. They say, no, they didn't. He's not dead, just calm down. She said, yes, they is, they killed him. And the other little kids say, no, he's still moving, he's alive. And she's trying to get to him, but as you see in that video, none of the Cleveland police officers are trying to perform any CPR, do any medical life resurrecting care on this kid. And you wonder if they would have done something, would that have enhanced his percentage of survival?
Do we have access to that cell phone video? Is that footage in your possession?
Actually, it's on the internet, and it's been talked about a lot amongst people in Cleveland, where it's just riveting to hear that young girl, this 14-year-old girl, saying, they killed my baby brother, and the children and everybody are concerned, but it doesn't seem like the Cleveland police are concerned at all. It looks like they're just mulling around as if they're looking for change on the ground. And what is really shocking is this standard operating procedure with the Cleveland Police Department. It speaks a lot to their training and their sensitivity. I mean, it's just so outrageous that you would tackle this little girl trying to get to her brother and put her in handcuffs.
Benjamin Crump, attorney for the Rice family, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to be joined by the imam behind the Islamic Center that was proposed near Ground Zero. You remember that? Also a satirist who is the voice of Mr. Burns on The Simpsons, and a journalist who won an award for courage last year. I'll ask them whether outlets should be running the Charlie Hebdo cartoons, including the most offensive ones, in the wake of the attack on their office in Paris. That's ahead.